An old video of Dele Farotimi about P2B have surfaced online, and in that video he was seen saying that the EFCC, the DSS, they have nothing on P2B, that if they had anything on P2B, that believe me, they would have arrested P2B or they would have made the claims. But over till now, nobody had anything to say against Obi. And Obi was also on an interview with Rufai where he said that everybody in Nigeria today, in fact everybody in the whole world, should come out if you have anything that P2B have done from his childbirth till now that involves criminal acts, that he should come out and say that he himself, he's not going to campaign again. Up to now, nobody has anything to hold against P2B. EFCC, the DSS, the police, the APC government, the LUP, all of them, nobody has anything to hold against Obi that implicate Obi's run for the next election. Nobody. But we can count how many things that have been exposed about our current leader. Is it the one that he forged certificates, this one, that one? But P2B has nothing. And this was Dele Farotimi said. He said that if P2B had done anything illegal or misappropriated state funds, EFCC would have arrested him since. For the fact that EFCC has not found anything with which to arrest him speaks volume. Because we all know how APC is trying so hard to make sure that Obi does not come back in that ballot. That means there's nothing, absolutely nothing, to hold against Peter Obi. And he was asked about the security in Nigeria. He was asked about Nnamdi Kanu. He was asked about Sheyi Gumi. He was asked about many things. And this man gave an honest response to those questions that was asked by Rufai. You are going to watch all this video, but please don't forget to leave a like and a comment, and please subscribe if you are new to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video, guys.
I assure you that if Mr. Peter Obi had broken any laws, because if he had broken any laws, I assure you that the bail conditions that would have been slammed against him by the time the charges are brought would have been worse than the ones that you have ever seen brought against any terrorist. That he hasn't been charged or had any issues raised related to that should speak volume to you. However, I need to draw your attention to something. If the man had done anything that other members of the Nigerian class, to which he's an eminently qualified member, whether it is by reason of his economic capacity or by reason of his political affiliations, he's eminently qualified. If he had done anything against the laws of Nigeria, I am sure that the gentlemen at EFCC and ICPC and what have you, we have multiplicities of political and prosecutorial agencies that would have ensured that he would not have dared to be making a presidential run, because I'm sure you will not suggest that he's a candidate of the system. When you had Mr. Rochas Okorocha, who was a candidate within the capacity of the system to muzzle, and they had sufficient basis to muzzle him, they didn't pull back to muzzle him. So I assure you that if Mr. Peter Obi had broken any laws, because if he had broken any laws, I assure you that the bail conditions that would have been slammed against him by the time the charges are brought would have been worse than the ones that you have ever seen brought against any terrorist. That he hasn't been charged or had any issues raised related to that should speak volume to you.
Without security, our kids are in the bush. If you were commander-in-chief, what will you do with our kids being in the bush and our teachers beheaded? General Rabi, in fact, about 3-4 generals were killed. If you were commander-in-chief, what would you do?
What you say again, you start telling me, how are you going to do it?
How?
I will not tell you.
Why?
But be rest assured.
Because Nigeria people need to know.
No. Nigerians are not asking that. It is people who don't know what to do. Commitment. I fought criminality in Anambra State. Go and ask people, head on. You must show commitment.
Is it commitment that solves problem of criminality?
Commitment solves the problem of everything.
Okay, you think President Tinubu is not committed to solving the problem?
Well, I don't say there's a complicity somewhere. Don't worry.
But this talk about, I'm happy you talked about complicity.
Yeah.
This talk about complicity, even Goodluck Jonathan said the same many years ago, that there's a complicity somewhere.
So when you come in, you deal with it.
How will you deal with it?
I said I've done it in the past. Just go and ask people. When I came into Anambra, even the famous kidnapper Evans said I sent them out of Anambra State. He said in his own interview, go and check his interview. He said Peter will be sent us out of Anambra State. Everybody left. It's one government. It's either I'm in charge or they're in charge. One person must be in charge.
One person must be in charge.
That's what I told him in Anambra
Are you
State.
saying that the current government is not in charge?
I said one person must be in charge. We declare war. If you're ready to lead, you must be ready to die. If you're not ready to die, go home.
Are you ready to die for Nigeria?
Yes. Tomorrow, if I'm outside this country and there's war, I'll come back. I'm a Nigerian. I've never had any reason to have any country's passport. I lived abroad for years. People collected different passports. I've never taken it. God created me a Nigerian, and I'm ready to die here. It's one country. We cannot have a non-state actors take over the state. It's not possible. We used to have military that kept peace all over the world. Our military were able to help to keep peace from Europe to Sudan to Liberia to Kuwait to everything. What has changed? What changed, Rufai?
A lot changed.
Nothing. Every week, Rufai, I visit a school, a hospital, mosque every week. You can go and check it. Just start today documenting it. And in each that I go, Rufai, I've not spent less than 10 million naira. Not one. I do not need public money. That's why I said, if I go into public today and say public money that I'm not entitled to, I ought to receive punishment from God. I want to see Nigeria work for the young Nigerians.
You know, when you talk about not stealing public money, people are quick to say the brewery matter. You invest in brewery.
No, they been investigated. In fact, go and investigate it. Go and investigate everything I've done in my life. If you find anything wanting, I stop campaigning. I've challenged people since I left in 2014. Forget the rumor. I said I don't deal with rumor. Everything I do is open. You've just asked me, they said he's involved with the Pandora Papers. It's a structured estate transfer system which I save little money for my family. Annually. No, not. It's open to everybody. Open to you. If you want, I give you the statement, everything inside it. I don't hide it.
You talked about your family. Is Nigeria worth the suffering your family is going through for all of this?
I tell them that. I tell my children. I can tell you my children thinks that Dad should do this.
The children are convinced they
Oh
give you their
yes,
support?
my daughter every day says to me, listen, without sense of humility, listen, Dad, why should people be sick and they can't go to hospital? My son does the same thing. I'll show you when I finish what they write to me in this thing. Because it doesn't make sense. If you go to Indonesia, every community have a primary health care. Today, Indonesia have 95% insurance coverage. If you're sick, you go to hospital. Everybody. Nigeria doesn't even have 5%. All these people here, if they are sick.
Sheikh Gumi, what's your take about Sheikh Gumi that supports or that says things in favor of these bandits?
I keep saying.
Objectively,
I keep saying.
are there things that you can say Sheikh Gumi has done wrong?
I keep saying, I want to discuss with everybody. I'm not here to apportion blame. Who is wrong? Who is right? I want to sit down with everybody. In solving these problems, I want to sit down with everybody and say, let's go this way, let's do it this way, let's do it this way. For example, as president, I will sit down with people and talk. And you see it. I did it as governor. I brought people, traditional rulers.
What if they don't listen to you?
They will listen to me now. They are in the problem. How can you say you call somebody who is sick, come to hospital, say he won't come? He will come now because he wants to be here. He wants to recover.
You met President Tinubu, and when they had the ceremonies for the Pope, and you had a conversation was facilitated by. Why is it that you couldn't work with Atiku?
No, who said I couldn't work with Atiku?
I mean, but you left the ADC.
Can't you see what's happening in ADC?
Is it? Some people are asking, is it a must that you must be on the presidential ballot?
No. Can't you see what is happening in ADC?
Yes, I've seen what is happening in ADC.
And you think and anybody should stay there?
But people are also saying NDC too has been taken to court as regards your party registration. When you talk about court cases,
no, we don't have that. We don't have 3 presidential candidates now. We don't have that situation. The situation, every situation has its own thing. When the court decides that we're not there, that's it. And you ask, is it a must? I must be
on the presidential
ballot. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm offering myself.
The question people are asking, Kwankwaso was on the presidential ballot in the last election, but today he's your running mate, he's your vice.
There's nothing wrong in that. Let me tell you. You can't even ask me that. Let me tell you, in the last election, if you add Abuja because they've added Abuja, if you add Abuja because they've added Abuja as a state now, Kwankwaso won one of the states. President Tinubu, Vice President Atiku and myself had 3 states, 12 states each. Even that happened because they took 2 of mine. They took Rivers and Benue. Otherwise, I would have had 14. As I said, if they did the right thing, I won. But however,
are you going to tell us the story of how they took Rivers and Benue from you?
You know, everybody knows it. Even children were still to know that. Everybody knows that. Even in INEC portal for a long time, it was there. The result was very clear. But that's not what I'm challenging today. But to tell you that you cannot tell somebody who won 12 states, is it a must? He must be on ballot. When other people want 12 states, you can no longer take me as a marginal contender.
Okay, but President Tinubu is making inroads into the East. A lot of your kinsmen, like your governor, openly come out to declare for President Tinubu.
No, they were there.
Openly come out to declare, and most of the governors in the Southeast, some of them have switched to the APC. In fact, people like Umahi are saying that this is the true Biafra they need. That's President Tinubu. You know what he has done? He has revolutionized the Southeast. How do you feel? Why is that your people do not believe in you? Your Kenneth Okonkwo that was with you before last election is not speaking for you again.
Okay, thank you very much. All these people you mentioned, apart from Kenneth Okonkwo, were not with me in the last election. So nothing has changed. It wasn't a case of there were too many governors. Let me tell you, there was no single governor with me in the last election. In fact, let me even tell, I'm even exaggerating. There was no councillor. I did not have one elected councillor with me in the last election. I didn't have a local government chairman, no governor, no commissioner, no minister. So what has changed is even better now. I have some senators. At least I have 2 senators. I have 11 House of Rep members. So it's actually improved now. But I'm telling you that in the last election, I didn't have anybody with me. All I want is free, fair, credible election. Today, I'm working with Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, which I'm very happy with. Happy with because
This is a man that called you names in the last election.
No, forget that. Happy, let me tell you why I'm happy. Forget about yesterday and names he called me. Happy because one thing you must learn and see in Kwankwaso is that he believes in pulling people out of poverty. He believes that a child of nobody can be somebody without knowing anybody. And that's where two of us can work together to transform this country.
So all of a sudden you're saying we should forget what he said about you.
No, what did he say about me? He didn't say I'm a thief. He didn't say I'm a thief. There's no way where Kwankwaso said I'm a thief. Okay. There's no people who say this thing. You can find a place where he said I'm more qualified.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong in that.
Okay.
So many people say they are more qualified than me. But I'm saying, and it's true, so many Nigerians are more qualified than me to be elected, but they are not in ballot. Among those who are in ballot, I'm most qualified. Because, yes, you might be a professor, anybody, anything, but among those who are in the ballot, is the people that are going to be elected. You cannot go and be electing people. It's like going to a game. You cannot be a spectator and be talking about medal. I'm in the field, I'm playing. I'm a competitor.
Inroads into the north is another one. A lot of people are saying, in the last election you didn't do quite well in the north. The last election you didn't do quite well. This time around it might not change. Well, is there a strategy for inroads? Because you can't win the presidency without winning the north.
There's no the strategy is that I'm telling them I can solve your problem. There's no strategy. Rufai, what I want to do is to turn around this country. And my commitment is total. And it's something that people can look at the past, where this man have passed. It's small business, in corporations where he served, in where he served as a governor. So it's not something you just say, oh well, nobody's sure of what is going to happen. There's a verifiable evidence. So if you say you're a person of integrity, let's go where we gave you the last money to manage. What happened to the money? And I'll say it now. Show me any other person who left the amount I left while not owing anybody. And I've left that place. Rufai, Anambra State, they have not bought me a bottle of water since I left. When they are supposed to have a law which they wanted me to sign, to say they will build a house for me in Lagos, build a house for me in Abuja, build a house for... I didn't. Because I said, what I say, I preach. What I preach is what I do.
Okay. I would like to take you on some of the very key issues. These are some of the criticisms against you. They say your criticisms of President Tinubu is quite very shallow. And I'll tell you why. Number one, you hardly prefer solutions to what you will have done as regards pertinent national situation. For instance, while you were giving one of your speeches recently, you said you add 4,000 extra megawatts, you're targeting 10,000 megawatts. Can you give us a breakdown by breakdown of how you are even going to achieve that 10,000 megawatts of electricity?
Fine. What people do here is to, because P2B does not have sophistication of media and everything, to make what I say look like, oh, nobody has said it. Somebody said, if I don't give you power, don't vote for me. Did he tell you how he's going to give you power? So why must my own be in the marketplace?
But you are saying you are different. Can you tell us?
I'm different because where I promised it as governor, I delivered it. And I've said, and I repeat, that in 4 years, we will generate, transmit, and distribute at least 10,000 megawatts of electricity.
How are you going to do it?
No, I'm not going to tell you how. It is not for you to know how. It is for you to look at the man who is saying this. Go and check political promises all over the world. It is for you to look at who is saying this. Rufai is saying it. Can we trust Rufai? Somebody just said, if I don't give, you don't vote for me. He didn't even add 1 megawatt. Instead, he went down and he's telling you again.
But power production increased.
No.
I mean, we produce more than what we're producing in 2023.
Listen, forget about Rufai. Nigeria today, since 2015, no new power plant had been commissioned. Not one, by this government. That's when I mean government investing in it. No new one. And in the next coming years, it will not happen because it takes at least 3 years to do one. So that promise was fake. If you compare it to countries like Indonesia, between 2015 and 2025, Indonesia added 70,000 megawatts of electricity. India, within the same period, added 171,000 megawatts. These are things you can go and verify. Egypt, within 2015 and 2021, added 28,000. Rufai, I was in Egypt, visited the power plants. I was in Indonesia, visiting, even met the president. So, Rufai, I know what I'm talking.
So, are you,
I will.
So, you're saying you will do it. How will you do it?
I know how I'm going to do it because it's not for me.
No,
I said,
no, but Nigerians need to know.
They don't need to know.
We can't do blind trust.
They don't need to know. They need to believe in me. That what they want to do is that maybe they've hired you for me to, everything I say, they come rushing me and go, no. Rufai, I will do it. I will even do more. I know what it means. Because I know that
so you're not going to tell us
the industries in Kano today are not working. I know what to do to provide that to Rufai. That's why I visited this plant. Which other candidate are taking time to go to these countries and see what they're doing?
So, Mr. Obi, it's not about visiting the plant. It's about telling us how you will do it, how you will get.
They're not rocket science. They're not rocket science. What those countries do is not rocket science. It's not as if I'm going to bring what is not there. What they did is very simple. And Rufai, my commitment is that I'll deliver it.
Okay.
I have my name on it.
I want to ask you another, but you've not told us how you're going to do it.
Yes.